and welcome to episode 30 of the PassionKnit Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry, Instagram, Goodreads, and Pinterest. I will leave that down in the description box so you can see how you have to write it if you want to look me up. And there's a Ravelry group for the podcast. Would be great if you could join. We are growing every day a little bit, and it's just very cool to me to see how it's developing. There's a blog where I put the YouTube video and just normally a link to the Indie of the Week. And that's it, I think. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you all had a wonderful week, and let's get started. What I'm wearing today is my Central Park hoodie. I showed this in the bonus episode that I did for blending fiber for a sweater. I did blend the fiber for this sweater, so you can see it looks like it's meant to be, and I'm not gonna stand up. I used, I think, 7 different braids of fiber for this, and it just looks great. It has a cable pattern. It does not have a hoodie because I didn't have enough yarn to knit one, but I like how it turned out a lot. So yeah, the Central Park hoodie, it was a pattern in Knit Scene, maybe in 2008, I don't know, but it's also in the 20 best books of Knit Scene thing in this book. The pattern is in this book, and it looks like this in the original. I knit this for myself. I did mark a lot of things or write down a lot of things that I changed. So yeah, can't show you any other pictures. Well, this is the back of the sweater. So yeah, the Central Park hoodie, it was one of the it things when it came out, and everyone knit one. And as I am just me, I did wait for a few years before I knit mine. So, Central Park hoodie. Knitting in the past, I forgot my sock blockers. I will get them. Please do not take care of the mess, and I will just do it like this. Ouch! Okay, here I am with sock blockers because I finished a pair of socks and they are so pretty that I really want to show them off in the perfect way. I did finish the hand spun socks that I was working on last week, and here they are. They are done. They are beautiful. I knit those out of my own hand spun. I spun this from a Be Mice Elf top. It's a superwash merino, bamboo, and nylon blend. And I just really hurt myself. Can you see that? This dent here, I just did that. So, socks. They are done. They are awesome. They are for me, which makes them a US whatever. I already forgot. It's a German 38. 64 stitches, top down. Nothing fancy about them. I'm gonna hold them up close so you can see how nice they came out. Yeah, I love those. I have a good chunk of yarn left that I will put in my drawer for hand spun sock yarn, so I can make some leftover socks someday. So they are pair number 2 for 16 and 2016. I had them started. I was on the first sock right around here when I dug them out again. So yeah, barely started. And now they are done. They're gorgeous. So that's my FO of the week. For knitting in the present, I have to put the tag back in so I know what it was. Knitting in the present, I have only 2 things, and you haven't seen either of those, which means that I did not knit on the Pfeilraupe or the other 2 pairs of socks that I showed last week. well, I did knit on one of the pairs of socks. I think I knit 5 or 6 rounds while waiting in the waiting room of the dentist. So for 5 rounds, you know, I didn't bother to bring them down. So my own bag. I was looking for something and I found those two yarns laying next to each other, and they are both big leftovers from other projects. I knit the Industrial Revolution shawl out of this, and I did knit the Baby Surprise jacket out of that. So I saw those next to each other and thought to myself, well, that might be a nice pair of socks. And I started it in my Needle Cozy. And this is the started sock. That's how it looks so far. I'm going to use the pink for cuffs, heels, and toes, and the stripy stuff for the rest of the sock. I really like how it's turning out so far. I'm knitting on my Clovers 2.75 millimeters, just like always. I really like them. I hope to finish them this week, maybe, because I will only be able to knit on socks after tonight or this afternoon, because my husband will leave tonight for a work trip, and he will be home again on January 31st, which makes a 2-week trip. It's the first time ever he had a 2-week trip. Normally it's 1 week or 10 days and then he's back home, but this time it's really 2 full weeks. And he will not be here on my birthday, and that sucks because that's in a few days. So, oh well. Now, the other thing I'm working on is the Langfield Hat by Martina Behm. This is the pattern. It's supposed to be a slouchy hat, and you add the slouch on the go. It's a all gauge, all pattern, all yarns, all sizes pattern. It's really cool how it's constructed. I love knitting it. I'm using my hand spun, and you cannot see a whole lot here, but you can see a lot more here. It was a gradient that I spun up from a top from Dripping Fiber Studios, and I started here. As you can see a little bit how it is constructed, and I'm about to close it up. My yarn, although it is pretty thin, I'm knitting this with a 3.75 millimeter needle, which is a US 5. I only had about around 140 meters, so it's a very dense yarn, and that makes for a not so slouchy hat. It will not be really slouchy when it's done in the end. Maybe a little bit, but not really what I wanted. I wanted a real slouchy hat, but it's just the yarn that I'm using. I cannot make a real slouchy hat, so I'm gonna make it like this. This will be done next week. I hope to finish it later when I watch this here, so I know if it's, you know, okay. And yeah, like I said, the Langfield Hat by Martina Behm, hand spun US 5s, and the Caspian interchangeables knit picks needles. So I have to put this somewhere else, and I have to drink. I'm sorry, I just have to. I brought some water just to drink. Okay, knitting in the future. I want to start something new, and it's the Millie vest. I don't know if that is how you say it, because I think, yeah, it says down here that the word is a South African word, and I don't know how to say it, so I will call it the Millie vest. And I'm gonna use the unicorn yarn that my friend gave me last year for my birthday, and as that is coming up again in a few days, I decided it's finally time to use it. So she gave me those 2 skeins of hand spun to use for this vest, and also some other skeins of yarn that just go with it. Will this be? Yeah. And some of these. These are hand spun that she got on vacation in Italy. So these all together will make this vest. I will try to use the big skeins of hand spun for the main body of the vest and one of the others for the ribbing. I don't know if that will work out. I'll find out. I think it's knit in one piece, so I don't have to take care of the stripes, you know. I don't have to make sure that I have enough of the yarn to make the stripe as wide on the front as on the back, because it's one piece. So yeah, I will hopefully start working on this soon, because when my husband's gone and I'm watching Tim, I can knit a little bit of stockinette, a few stitches here and there, but nothing patterning. So I'm not gonna start anything with a real pattern on it. Okay, spinning. I didn't spin, not at all. New stuff. I have new stuff. I got myself some books and a few patterns. So first off is the knitting book. I got Free Spirit Knits by Anne something. She also is the author of the literary knits. I have 3 of those small books and I love those books. So I had to get this book from her. And as you can see, I found a few things that I really like. First of all, I tagged the cover sweater, which is a beautiful, I'm gonna show another picture. Here you can see. It's a beautiful fingering weight cardigan. And I love it. It's really nice. So it's a picture of the back here. I will knit this. I think about using Wollmeise because I have quite a lot of that in my stash. So I think that might be something to do. Then I also like the Snow Bowl hoodie, which looks like this. Or here you can see how it looks. It's beautiful. I think about maybe using some handspun for that. Then there's just a scarf where I really can't show a lot, and a shawl. Here's the shawl that I really like. I might want to make. Maybe out of a handspun loop bump. Something like that. And another shawl. And there's a hat. I really like this hat. I'm a hat person. And this cardigan, Monument Valley cardi sweater. You can see some detail of the sweater. I want to make those things sometime in my life, because like it was pointed out to me on Instagram, my queue is I think at 815 things, but I do not use it primarily as my queue of stuff that I really want to cast on next week's, but also for just finding things again. I'm not very good at using the favorites thing on Ravelry, so I put everything I really like in my queue, and whenever I want to cast it on, I do. So that's how it works. Then I got this book. I got it because of Sadie. She showed it on her podcast and it was really cheap for me, as it's a German book and I'm in Germany. There are just wonderful patterns in here that I'm not going to be able to show you because it's charts. It's primarily charts. There's nothing else in here, really. So yeah, I got a cross stitch book. And I got some cross stitch patterns. I did get the pumpkin passport, and I talked about it last week. And while I was there, I also got the tea time pattern because I really like this. I've always liked this. Then I went to Cloud's Factory, and she is my favorite cross stitch pattern maker out there. So she's doing something similar to the pumpkin passport, but she calls it postcards from the world. It's also a year-long thing that's going on. And the first clue was released, and I'm not going to be able to show it to you, but it's super cute, very different from the pumpkin passport, which is good because basically they both go on a world tour, and the first stop for the Clouds Factory thing is Venice, so it's really nice. Maybe I will be able to finish both samplers this year. Then I got the pattern for Disney Princess Villains, because I'm in 2 different mini quilt swaps on Instagram. One is the Disney quilt swap, and I'm gonna stitch up one of these for my partner as a little extra. And then I got the Harry Potter pillow sampler because I've wanted this forever, and I just got it now. I'm also in the Hogwarts mini quilt swap, and I want to stitch up one little part of this for that partner. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit of cross stitch stuff in the future. Also, I'm gonna stitch up one of these for my husband for Valentine's, and I'm gonna use the one with the electrical guitar because my husband plays the guitar in a band. So yeah, that will be his Valentine's Day gift. So I got a bunch of patterns from Clouds Factory. I also have a lot of patterns from her that I've had before because her stuff is awesome. I'm gonna show it to you. Clouds Factory. Go find her shop, check it out, buy all the things because her stuff is gorgeous. So that was my new stuff. No yarn, no fiber, no fabric, which is a good thing because I have these things. My indie of the week. I don't have an indie of the week this week because I didn't work with indie stuff. But last week I talked about Handgefärbt, which was the first German hand dyer out there. And when I went to link her in the show notes, I found out that she closed her shop 2 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I didn't check it before because why? And yeah, no, she's not around anymore. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you can get stuff on D-Stash on Ravelry because she did dye a lot and a lot of people have a ton of stuff. So yeah, it just that did not work out for me this time. Now for reading, I finished the 3rd audiobook for the Mythos Academy series by Jennifer Estep. It's a great series. I talked about this in length in my 1st or 2nd podcast after I had my baby. So if you want to know about that, go check that out because I talked about what it's about. And I did start the audiobook for a German book from a German author. It's called Die Magische Gondel. It's by Eva Völler. It's a time travel trilogy, young adult. Yeah, it's a cute story. I love reading the books. I read them 2 or 3 years ago. I got them from the library, so I cannot even show you what it looks like. And I got the audiobooks through Audible, and I just started listening to the first one while cross-stitching yesterday. So that's what I did. Now, sewing. I did sew 4 little needle nooks this week. I just cut them out all, not all at once, but you know, did cut them out, did get on the sewing machine and seamed them up all in a row, and it was great. So this is the first one. This one will stay with me. It has the stripy stuff on the inside that I used for my bag. So this will live permanently in this bag, I think, because it just goes together, you know? It's the same fabric. It has to be a set. So yeah, the first one. Then I made this yellow one with purple snaps, and on the inside I have this little pink floral fabric. Then I made a purple with pink polka dots and pink snaps because it has to go together somehow. And the inside is this white and gray leaf pattern. And these three are for me. I will keep them because I use them. And then I made this one. This one will go in the mail. I made it for someone else. It's the apple pattern on the outside and brown polka dots on the inside. I think that's pretty nice. I did get asked on Instagram a few times if I have a pattern for these, and I don't. I do not have a pattern for these. I think 6-7 years ago I got some very similar to this, and I don't have it here, from Slip Stitch Studios. Her needle cozies, she calls them needle nooks, and they also have a zipper on the outside and a little pocket where you can put stitch markers and stuff like that. And I got some from her, one for me, one for my friend, and one for my mom. And my friend, she's a master seamstress. She really did. I'm not. I do when I know what to do when there's a pattern to guide me, but I just handed it to her and said, you know, I really would love to have more of these, but shipping from America to Germany and customs, that's just no. So she figured out what to do for our way to do these, and this is how I do it ever since. I have a little piece of paper where I wrote down what she told me on a phone, what I should do, and that's it. I am not selling these. I'm not right now, and I don't intend to. I don't know what the future will bring. You know, if I get into a needle cozy sewing craze and I have 25 here that I don't need, I might be able to, I might sell them. But right now I'm not. I will consider doing swaps. If you want one, just contact me and we can figure something out. But yeah, there's no pattern. I'm not selling these. If you want to buy some, I know that Danny of the Little Bobbins Knits podcast, she sells them in her shop. And there are a ton of other people. If you're in Germany, you can go to Davanda, to the shop of Frogget Designs. Marie, she has some. So there are a ton of people out there who sell them. So I don't want to get into that. So, okay. 3 for me, 1 to give away. And like I said, if you really want one, Miss Apron Addict, tell me. We can figure something out. It's not a problem at all. But yeah, right now I don't intend to really sell them. Okay, now that was a long talk for 4 really small finished objects, was it? The only other thing I have left on my list is cross stitch. I did cross stitch a lot this week. I finished the little sewing machine that I showed last week. I have quite a few of these little embroidery hoops to hang stuff, you know, to frame stuff for hanging it on the wall. And the fabric for this little sewing machine was so small that I barely got it in there. It was a beast. So I put red felt on the back and just glued it down. I know that's probably not what you're supposed to do, but that's what I did. So here it is. Of course, I screwed it up in several places, but as you don't know what it's supposed to look like, you will not know. And I do not care. It looks nice. It will be like this. I will make a second one sometime in the future for my best friend for her birthday. So You will see me do this again. Now this is mine, will stay with me. I will put it somewhere on the wall in my room here. It was really easy. It took forever because it was my first cross stitch project in over a year, but I like it. It's cute, it's small. So then I want to make a book thing for my son. It's not really what I want to do. Is not really a scrapbook. It's not really a journal, not a diary. It's kind of a mixture of all of these things, and I want to make it for him for when he's grown up. I want to continue filling this until he's old enough to appreciate it, which means that I might be able to give it to him for his 25th birthday or something like that. So I did start the first page, and this one has a picture. So yeah, this is what it looks like. I did cross stitch this here. I did sew it on with the sewing machine onto the cardboard. Added a picture of my little baby and some words. The back looks like this right now because I'm not done yet. There will go another picture, and maybe then I'll be done with it. I don't know yet. Like I said, I want to add maybe 3 or 4 cards every year. So it's, you know, a memory of his whole life of some sort. Not all of them will have pictures. I have a whole plan what I want to put in, so I will not talk about and show this all the time because it's a very personal thing. I just did show this one page because of the cross stitch that I made, which is this one, and it's really nice and cute and was quick, but the rest will not be shown, and unless I do, you know, crochet a border around the cardboard or craft something with my textile crafts. So this is something that I made this week. And the other thing, or the last thing, I did get started on the pumpkin passport, and I have to say, I do not like using a frame for stitching, like a Q-snap. I do have a Q-snap, and it holds the Once Upon a Time stitch sampler. I do have normal embroidery hoops. I have one, a big one, you know, that I could have used, and I also have a snap one of the plastic snap. It's like a plastic ring and a metal ring that goes into it that you can just, yeah. I don't like to use those. I really like to crump the fabric up in my hand until I'm where I want to stitch. That's easier for me. So probably I did this all wrong because I don't know better, but this is what I did. I did get started on all the borders and the middle border thing. So I know that they are in the right place for continuing, and I cannot show you what it's going to look like. What I can show you is a little card that holds my thread, because I did not buy anything for this. I had this piece of fabric, and it is exactly this size. It was perfect. It's a perfect size to do this because I have a little left over on all sides, and I have a ton of thread, so I just yeah, for this here, this color, it says dark straw and blue green, and it has the DMC numbers in the pattern, so I just used what I thought would be a dark straw and a blue green. So this is gonna be a little bit different in color, but I don't care. It's gonna be cute. And I don't think that I will be able to work on this in the next 2 weeks because cross stitch needs so much more brain power than doing stockinette socks. So I have to put this down because if I hold it up, you will not be able to see me. And yeah, I'm gonna put it away over here. And my little Ziploc that holds the threads and a little piece of fabric with the needle will go over here as well. So that's it on my show notes. It's gonna be a significantly shorter episode, which is a good thing because when I started this, I wanted to make short episodes, you know, half an hour to 40 minutes, and the last few ones were just way too long, but I had a lot of stuff to show. So yeah. I will not be able to record next week because, like I said a million times now, my husband's gone, and I just cannot. Oh, can you see my cats? Can you see them? Here? There are both of them. You can see the ears. Here, ears. That's Gizmo. And you can see the back from Malin, and his ears are way over there. Ah, Gizmo. Gizmo. He's like, oh, go away. And I will go away because I don't want to sit here. I'm gonna go upstairs because sitting here I can see how much it's snowing, and that's a bit depressing. I'm gonna try to show you what it looks like outside my window right now. I live in the German Alps, right in the beginning where it starts to really get mountainy. So this is what it looks like. I'm sorry for shaking. Can you see? This is the snow, and it is snowing right now. So with my husband gone for the next 2 weeks, I will get a lot of work out because I have to shovel every day, maybe twice. Okay, so I hope you all have a wonderful 2 weeks. Enjoy everything you do, and I hope to be able to show at least a little bit of stuff when I come back to you in 2 weeks. So have a wonderful time. Bye.